What's up, everybody? David's back here. Today is Monday, March 30th. So it's probably been over a month since we last vlogged or recorded anything. However, it is because there have been good happenings rather than the this that I feel like was plagued in the last ones. So pretty much a catch up of what has kind of happened since the last one. We had a really big event. It was our quarter career event, and we've been pretty much waiting on this to get finished up. I actually need to check in with the project lead on that so we can wrap those edits up this week. And so because of this next job, we are going to try to bundle and package this into the next kind of phase of whatever it is we're doing here at Treehouse, or the next stage of growth for Treehouse. And the one thing that I feel like made this job specifically so successful and kind of pretty smooth is the fact that we had surplus amounts of preparation time. My favorite album of all time is Kendrick Lamar's Section 80 album. And on the last song, I'm not sure if it's High Power or the Too Many Niggas Not Enough Hope song. Either or, the narrator of the album talks about the 5 P's. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. The 5 P's. And there are different stages of everything, and there's cycles of learning and relearning the same things. And I'm sure I've had this lesson before, but to see what this next level of preparation looks like has made me feel like I have been, I'm not going to go as far as saying preparing to fail this whole time, but I think I have been pretty successful in spite of my lack of preparation. That makes sense to me. And so with this, I always say preparation is the most important thing, because they say like luck is when preparation meets timing. And I feel like I wasn't quite sure the direction that I wanted to go. Like, yeah, you always want to grow or do bigger, better things, but to have a really clear vision of what that looks like is a completely different animal all in itself. And so with this next stage, it's really just figuring out what it is that I want to do and then preparing adequately for that. I feel like there's a lot of things I can do, but those things aren't really like, they're more like hobbies that I feel like will, at the end of it, it'll be fun, but I'll be like, this was a side quest. However, one of the other really important jobs I did was I did photography for the Rise to It Productions, and pretty much what they do is they go to schools up and down the Central Valley, and they put on productions, whether it be like motivational talks, life learning talks. It's pretty much like talks for students in mostly like junior high school. There's been, actually I'd say K through 12, K through college actually, because we've done things at all levels for all students. So it really is an educational funnel. And so that brings me back to the next point of becoming a professor, or going back to get my master's to become a professor. Because the one thing that I don't have is like a true professional network. Like, yes, I have my clients, but I don't have like industry plugs, or like I'm not in it's an institutional network. That's what it is. It's an institutional network. And as much as I tend to not align with a lot of these institutions, especially the educational institution, I would be a fool to think it's not valuable to have access to that institution. That's what it is. It's having access to institutions. That way you can further your goals and help people and do whatever it is you want to do ethically. We always want to be ethical hoopers, but you could do it in a way that really makes sense for you. I feel like all this comes back to like, what's the point of this? And I guess the point of life and all this is to create a lifestyle or create a life that is sustainable, you could be happy with, a life you could go to sleep at night, a life you could die with and be like, you know what, that was cool. Like, God gave me a cool life. And so, because I like the educational system, I like the connection, I like learning, students, the whole dynamic, I think it'll be I feel like that is the most sustainable side quest that makes the most sense, that will both challenge me. I feel like it'll be fun. I'll meet cool people, and it will, whatever the end goal is, to be and even if it's just an adjunct professor, like maybe like I'm setting my goals too low right now by saying adjunct professor, because I'm gonna be doing this at the same time. And so it really is just like, I just love, I will say, I think I truly do love education and the institution of education. I might not agree with everything, but I like the idea of me being a person in the institution that has a platform that could tell people, bro, you could do it. Like, you could kind of be bullshitting and not be the perfect student or whatever, and still make it to these levels, have this influence, and be able to be an example for the ones like yourself. You know what I mean? I think the thing that drives me most is connecting with the me's of the world and letting the me's of the world know, like, bro, you could rock out, you could do it. It's the whole point of these vlogs. It's always me talking about me. Maybe I got main character syndrome, but like, I really think that is another level of my purpose. Like, I don't know what it is about education and that sharing. Education is the perfect balance, because you can, once you get to higher levels of education, you can have the street, because I feel like I had to have the street smarts as well as the credibility, the institutional credibility. That's what it is. You have to have two levels of credibility. You have to have your street cred, but then you also have to have your like institutional cred, whether it be, some people do the army, some people do the police. Mine is I picked the educational institution. Of all the institutions I got to deal with, if it's an institution, I could do it for the future. You know what I'm saying? I could do it for the future, do it for the kids, man. As much as I be like, F them kids sometimes, it's like, nah, man, like. And then this is another deeper layer. This goes back to planting seeds. Maybe it's like a legacy thing, or like leaving a memory, leaving an impact on people. But within education and speaking, especially at those higher levels, you could go and you could talk to all levels of people. Like, I feel like I've done pretty much every level of K through 8 education, and then I've worked in the high school level as a working videographer. Like, I literally work as a videographer with high school level stuff. And so between my experience and everything I've done, I feel like that really makes the most sense. So this really did turn into like no, because this makes sense, because this is literally 5 P's. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. I'm preparing for the future. I'm like, what does the next 10 years look like? What does it look like? You know what I mean? I feel like, man, people get so stuck behind the 8 ball, or put themselves in such a hole from 20 to, I'll even go as far as say to 18 to like 25, you get stuck in something, whether it be a relationship, you have a kid, a job, you just get stuck. Debt. People just get stuck for whatever reasons between those ages. And unless you have a family that can help bail you out or whatever, you're going to have a very hard time from like 25 to 40. And so I would say this is the life I prepared for. It's good. I'm not mad at it. But if I want to have a better life, I need to start preparing now. Like, what's the next step? Some free riffs. I need to, first of all, get out of debt. I feel like I've kind of tamed my spending back. Like, I'm not just living so frivolously. Like, I really am just living, doing the best things for me. You know what I'm saying? And so I've kind of reeled my spending back. I'm saving. I'm being more poignant with the spending. And yeah, like low-key, like it's cool. It's really just figuring out like what's the next step. And I feel like the professorship is like, that's a side quest I could get behind. And if I commit myself to it and finish it, it'll be some cool stuff at the end of it. Not just like, you know, some self-gratifying thing. So yeah, 5 P's. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. What are you preparing for? You literally, whatever your life is today, this is what you prepared for. There will always be things that are out of your control, especially if growing up and stuff. So I can't say whatever you prepared for that. But at some point, this goes back to 3-4 videos, radical accountability, trying to build on that. So now we're preparing. I'm gonna say it again. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. What are you preparing for? What are you preparing for? And where you are now is probably what you prepared for, whether you realize it or not. So this was a pretty good dope rant. I like this one. Big shit popping, little shit stopping, ball on these other suckers, because losing's not an option. I do it. Peace.